Welcome back to Love It or Hate It, Just Rate It. I'm Deborah, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and just tap the button to subscribe, share, and like, and don't forget to bang the bell for notifications so you can get all our new videos that we will be uploading every Wednesday. Okay, so today I'll be reviewing Greenleaf. Okay, so in Greenleaf, Grace has major problems. She has so many problems, it's unbelievable, and she's letting it get the best of her. She's actually getting played big time by AJ. Okay, so when it starts off, you have Grace going to May, telling her that I have a son. I have a 25-year-old son. And May is happy. She goes, so do you have a picture of him? And it seems like she would ask, well, how come nobody knows about this son? When did you get him? Where did you get him from? But anyway, she says, do you have a picture? Let me see a picture. So Grace shows her a picture, and it is the cutest picture. It's she's smiling, he's smiling, and they look like mother and son, like they've been together all along. But very nice. So then May is excited. She wants to meet him. And she says, so bring him over for dinner tonight. And so Grace, I've been trying to contact him. He's really kind of upset with me right now, and he's not returning any of my calls. And she said, well, we're going to have dinner, and everybody will come over, and we'll have the opportunity to meet him. So later on, Grace's phone rings, and who is it but AJ? And he tells her that he's been arrested. And so, Grace runs straight down to the police station, and because she's got to get him out, she's got to know what's going on with her son, because she really loves this boy, and she feels like he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in if she hadn't given him up for adoption. And then he was in those abusive homes. He didn't have anywhere to sleep. He didn't have enough food to eat. And, it's obvious. You can see the hurt in his face. He's hurt and she's hurt that all this happened to him. But anyway, she goes down to the police station, and as soon as she gets in there, they let her see him. And he says, you got to tell him that I was with you. You have to tell him that. And so then she goes, well, where were you? And he goes, I was at home, but I can't prove that I was at home by myself. I can't prove it. So I need you to say that you were there with me. And so she goes, okay, I'll do it. And he goes, you'll do it? She goes, yeah, I'll do it. So she goes in, she talks to the detective, tells the detective that she was there with him. And so the detective says, well, you were instrumental in getting him down here to Memphis. You intervened on quite a few things that were pertaining to him. And so, I guess Grace is probably thinking to herself, I might as well start now and admit it. She goes, I'm his mom. So he says, oh, okay. And so he says, okay, so what I need you to do, I need to get a recording. I need to get a recording of you saying that you were there with him. So she did a recording. Then that wasn't good enough. This detective wanted a statement. So then she leaves a statement saying that she was with him. He said, because if you say that he was you were with AJ, then he can go home with you right now. So she signed up everything. She took him out of there, and they left. While they're walking to the car, she's asking him, did he do this? Did you do it? He goes, no, I didn't do it. So she takes him back to the house so everybody can meet him. And in the meantime, while she's on their way back to the house, then you have Clarissa. This is the snake in between the sheets, under the sheets, over the sheets. She is a smooth snake. Okay, so Clarissa is over the office where the people who bought the land from them. So she's over there to pick up the check. So the guy gives her the check, and he says, you really don't look that happy about, getting the money for the land. And she says, yeah, well, I'm in the house with my mother-in-law. And we really want to purchase another house, and this is not even half the money to get the house. So, yeah, so I'm not all that happy, but thank you anyway. So then he walks back over to his checkbook, and he writes her an even bigger check. And he says, well, maybe I can help you out with that. Should I write this out to you and your husband, or should I just write it out to you? Either way, it doesn't make a difference. And she goes, you can write it out to me. And so he writes the check out and he hands it to her. And then he says, since you're just 50% happy right now, I'd like to see how you are when you're 100% happy. And she goes, what do you mean? And he goes, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And so she says to him, let's let the check clear first. And so then she goes over to Jacob's office. You know, Jacob has already sent her a text message and told her that he was fired from Harmony and Hope / Calvary. And so, you know, he was fired due to the same thing that happened with, you know, with the young man who had the fight and everything. So all this is trickled on down. Now he's gotten fired from Calvary. So Clarissa goes over and she says, you know, let's go and celebrate. You know, I got the money from the sale of the land because we did put the offer in on the house. So now let's go celebrate because, you know, maybe we have a chance at getting this house. And so he goes, yeah, but we don't have enough money. And she goes, I was able to scrape up a little bit of money, you know. So I think we may have a chance at getting the house because we did put the offer in it. So let's go out and celebrate. So while she's saying that, then his cell phone rings. And who is it? It is Lady May. And Lady May is saying that she needs him to come home right now because he needs to meet his nephew, Grace's son. And it's like, what? Where did she get a son from? And so then she said, I just need you to come home. Need you to come home now. So he says, okay, fine. So then he tells Clarissa, you know, change of plans. And she said, no, this is my celebration and I haven't changed any plans. If anybody's going to make some changes, it's going to be me. And he goes, Grace has a son and, you know, Mom wants us to come over there and meet him. And she goes, no, Jacob, man up and put your wife first for once, just one time. And, you know, I know Clarissa has a beef with Lady May, so whichever way Lady May is going, she's going the opposite way. But in this instance, I could see her kind of going to meet him and then going out to dinner, you know. Just say, I know Lady May is cooking dinner for everybody. Then, you know, after we eat dinner, then me and Jacob can go out or just go meet him and then go out. So anyway, she just raises a fit. She's not going. He said, so you're not coming? And she said, do it look like I'm coming? And so then, so he walks on out and he goes over to meet AJ. But when he walks in there, I mean, he walked into a ball of fire because, I mean, May was just attacking AJ from right to left to center. She was coming down on him because she said, you know, the detective just left here and the detective says that you did it. And I want you to tell me right now, did you commit that burglary? Did you do it? And he just would not answer her forward, sideways. He just would not do it. And so then we go back over to Clarissa. You know, Clarissa is like all down in the dumps because Jacob left and he went over there. So she picks up the phone and calls the guy. She calls him and asks him, was he busy? And he said no, and she went straight over there. I mean, which makes her look really bad. I mean, the guy didn't even have to chase her down. He didn't have to do anything. All he did was write her a check. She said the check cleared. Boom. You know, Jacob didn't want to go out to dinner with me, so here I am. And do you know that she had sex with that man right then and there? And that is just low down and dirty. Here your husband that lost both his jobs. You're trying to buy a house. And you sleeping with, I mean, you didn't even go in the bedroom. He just did it right there in his office. So, and you know that's going to come back to bite you. And I mean, it's going to be a hard bite. So get ready for it. So anyway, they go back over and, you know, Lady May is still just quizzing him. You know, did you do it? Did you do it? So finally, he just walks out. He walks out and he's done. And Grace runs after him. And when she catches up with him back at his apartment. So he's in that apartment and there's a plastic bag full of those pills that he stole from the pharmacy that he said that he did not steal. So he put Grace on the line to vouch for him that he didn't do it. And here he has the evidence right there. So he's packing a bag. He's trying to get out of Dodge and get out of there. And Grace she's like in tears. She's like, don't you want a family? You know, you have a family here. I thought that's what you wanted. You know, everybody's happy to meet you. And he says, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't want that family. And because he sees Lady May got his number. And she called it, okay? She got his number. She called it, and he answered. So he said he is out of Dodge. Okay, so he leaves, and he just leaves Grace standing there hanging. So she goes back to Lady May. Lady May said, you got to go down to that police station, and you got to tell them that you were not there. You have to do that. And then you have Jacob sitting there. He's sitting in the bedroom, sitting, and then Clarissa walks in, and she's drunk as a skunk, okay? And so he says, so where you been? So she lies and tells him she's been with some friend or whatever. And he said, oh, you had a couple, huh? She says, yeah. And he says, okay, well, I gotta go down to Calvary. I'll be back. So he leaves to go down to Calvary because I guess after everything has sunk in and you know, everything that happened during the day. So now he's going back to Calvary because, you know, he was terminated. So he's going to pack up his office. So he packs up his office. In the meantime, Charity's got all this dirt on AJ and all the dirt on Grace. So she runs back and tells Phil DeMar. So she's at the church too. So Jacob doesn't know she's at the church. He's in there packing up his office. And Charity is running down to Phil DeMar everything that happened. And he said, yeah, he's got a record. Grace, she vouched for him and said she was at the apartment with him. And I even got it on a recording where she said that she was there. And he did it. He did it. So Jacob is packing up his stuff and he's walking out and he hears laughter and talking or whatever. And he peeks in there and Phil DeMar's office, and he sees Charity and Phil DeMar making out and kissing and everything else. So that it ended on that note. But just to say, Charity wanted a man so bad she'll turn on anybody, and she's not really turning on somebody. That's her sister, and she's telling all this information on her sister, which that should be kept to the family because they're trying to get the church back. And they did have a chance at first because, yeah, she had just given her son up for adoption, but now she's vouched for a criminal. And Charity has brought this to Phil DeMar, and Phil DeMar wants that church. And Bob Whitmore, I don't think he's going to give it to Phil DeMar. I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. But Charity is a snitch. Okay? So we will see what happens next Tuesday night. Okay? We'll see if AJ comes back, if he turns himself in so he can clear Grace. And Grace needs to just leave this alone because Grace is getting played. And I know she's trying to love her son and make up for giving him up for adoption. But I think, I don't know, maybe she needs to cut that loose because he's trying to bring her down because he's hurt. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, and talk to you next Wednesday. Don't forget to share, subscribe, bang the bell for notifications, and like it. Okay, talk to you next time.